Okay, back for part 3. I had to stop that one because I didn't have everything I needed for the hands that I wanted to demonstrate. Something I developed because if you look at these hands, they look a little tarnished or corroded. I don't know what that is. But I take a pair of locking tweezers and let's see. That is a piece of gold or silver polishing cloth you can buy at a jewelry store. It's impregnated with a compound for polishing, and it cleans up hands pretty nice. So I have it on this black rubber mat, and if you're wondering where that came from, it's got like a sponginess to it. So when you press on it, it goes in, embeds itself into that mat. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick. I don't know what it's made of, the material, but it came with my watch case opener. It was like a little pad that it came with. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this and we're going to hold that down like that, and we're going to take our polishing cloth and run it in one direction. Don't have to lean on it. And you can see it actually came up pretty good. I'm surprised. Well, it shouldn't be. I've done this enough and it's worked. You got to be careful with the loom that you don't knock that out. Okay. Very gently, just give it a rub, one direction. Doesn't take much. Now there is a spot there that looks like it's not going to come off. That's okay. I just want to get this basically cleaned up, and then we come around and do that to the other side. So we can do that, and then we're going to blow it dry, or blow some lint off that may have collected. Okay. Whatever that stuff is on there, tarnish, I don't know. Look at that. That's pretty slick. That's worth the price of admission. Alright, I'm just blowing smoke. Okay, that one's done. That's the hour hand. Here's our minute hand. That one's not so bad. So let's do that one. That we're just going to do a little bit because it don't look that bad. Is this the proper way to do these? I don't know. Is there a proper way? I'm sure a professional watch restorer would know. I just do what works for me. Looks good. Unless you look at it with a loop. Once it's in the watch is assembled, it'll look pretty darn good. At least in my book. Okay. Let's lose that. We're gonna put that back in our bin. Let's give them a quick blast. Remove any lint. Stubborn pieces. You can hit it with a piece of Rotico. You can also do it after it's set. Okay. Let's see if we can adjust this a bit. Here we have a device for setting hands. Got this on Amazon. For $12 or $13, I forget. I think it was Paul in South Carolina, North Carolina. He turned us onto this on the website, and it's just a matter of a little plunger comes down, sets that on there. So If you do a search on Amazon, actually I can do a posting on what the name of that is. I don't remember. Because we don't have a date function, it's really not going to matter where we put this hour hand. The critical thing is going to be the minute hand. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. And we just give it a push. You can see it can go a little more. And just with finger pressure, I'm setting that on there. You can lean on it pretty good if you have to. Amazing how much pressure you can put on these. Take a look at that hand. Not bad. Still got the shakes from the caffeine, but I did pour myself a glass of Sauvignon Blanc. It's 12 o'clock somewhere. Okay. The hour hand is on. Let's give it a blast with the blower. Give that a test. Looks good. I like to eyeball it. With that setter assembly, it's pretty slick. It centers it up pretty good. It's nice and level. It's flat. Sometimes I like to come in here, give it a nudge. If it's a little out of shape, that straightens it up. It's parallel with the dial. Okay, let's set that to 12 o'clock. Okay. Then we go to station 2. It's a different tip. And we'll set our minute hand. Okay. Looks to be 12 o'clock. Okay, pick up your minute hand. Drop it a few times. Okay. This is a bit cumbersome because I'm trying to show it to you while I'm doing it, so let's just make this easy for myself. There's a piece of lint right there. Look at that. A little bit of Rotico. Put that right up. When setting a minute hand, if it doesn't line, I don't set it all the way. Kind of do it halfway. And then give it a test. If I gotta pop it off, it's easy to come off. There we go. Got that lined up. Everybody can see it, it looks like. Just a nudge. Just barely a nudge. Take it back out of that holder. Okay. You can't see that. There you go. Genius. So when we come around for the 12 o'clock hour, they both line up at 12 at the same time. Looks pretty good. Another test is 3 o'clock. And that hour hand's on 3. The minute hand's on 12. I think it looks pretty good. Is it perfect? Well, who knows. Okay. Back in here, and we're going to lean on that to set it. Don't have to kill it. Now I'd like to come around here and take a look at those hands. Look at that. They're both parallel. They're both parallel with the face. That hand setter does a nice job, and it's cheap. So that's a good sign. When you go to wind this around, let's get a focus on here. It's going to run pretty smoothly. Now, the minute hand can be a little crazy, or the second hand, because of this spring on the back end onto that pinion. That's going to pop up and down. I don't know if I can show it to you here. See it moving? So we got to back that up somehow. I don't quite have a system yet. I do have a system, but I don't know if I can get it on this microscope camera. Okay. We're going to set it. At least get it on there. Now, it's not on, but I like to put that middle part right on top of this edge right there, and hopefully it'll keep that pinion from moving, and it'll set the pin, or I can pull that plunger down and lean on it. These don't take much to hold. Okay. It's basically, no, it's not going to work that way. See, we're lining that up right there, and then we're going to come in, give it a tweak, because we supported it from the back side on that screw. We should be okay. Does that make sense to everyone? Makes sense to me. Anybody who's worked on these knows you got to come up with a way to back that up. Okay. How does that look? Don't worry about it ticking. Not going to hurt anything if you stop it. Okay. Let's get a look on this angle, or this view. And you can see that second hand rising up a bit. It's a little high. We can take our tweezers and give that a bend while it's on there. It can be a hairy operation too. Okay, we're having some, there we go. I like to come in here and grab onto it. Let's get these hands out of the way. Okay, hopefully I can show you what I'm doing here. We're going to come in here. Come on. Of course, while it's ticking, it makes it a pain. Okay. You don't want to grip this too much. Because of the paint that's on it. We do want to try to put a bend. Come on. Okay, it's up a little bit more. This kind of stuff can be nerve-wracking too. Tedious, time-consuming. I think that did it. Hopefully everybody got a look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. Parallel. Beautiful. Very nice. Okay. Still rocking. Blow this dry, or blow the lint off if we have any. I'm gonna move these hands. Take some Rotico. Looks good. The case. This is ready for the case. We're gonna blow that out. Got a good blast all over, everywhere, inside and out. Yesterday I polished it. Still has the internal crazing, but that's okay. We got rid of the scratches. This actually won't look too bad once it's in the case. Once it's cased, moved and it's cased up. Okay, where's our rubber mat? And we have to take our We're going to take our stem out. We're going to let that second hand get past the 9, actually up to the 12, so we can turn this over, and we're going to get that hand winding stem out. I can find my tool. Here it is. Alright, I'm going to turn that over. Kind of lean on it there. Depress. Pull the stem. I just had it resting on the 9 o'clock hour, not flat down on the hands. So there we go. I hold that in my hand like that. Take our movement, our case, drop it in, flip it over, and then we're going to put that stem right back in. Stems can be a mule sometimes. I like to put a little bit of grease on the end. Everything's working slick and smooth when you go to wind it or set the time. How's that look? Yeah, it's got a little glob of grease on there. These can be a little tricky. Got to make sure you get that engaged. There you go. Screw it in, it'll snap. I like to depress that pin. Yep, it's working good. And come around. Have a look. You can see that that surface is pretty clean. The internal crazing we're not going to do anything about. If anything, adds a little character. I like to take a close look, make sure there's no lint on the inside. Blow it dry, or blow the lint off the outside. Looks pretty good. Alright. What do we want to do here? Movement holder? Why not? Put this into a case holder. That's all set. There's a little bit of slop there. We're going to take those little keepers. Easter keepers. Alright, can you see that? We're going to drop that keeper in there. These can be a pain. just because you're working in a small area and you gotta get that into a slot. There it is. There's a good shot. Let's focus that. Yeah, this is taking a long time just because I want to show everybody what's doing. Certainly doesn't take you this long to service a watch unless you're trying to do what I'm doing, show everybody. And this screw can be a pain, especially with the shakes. Ah, you dummy. Kim, is that coming up? Yeah, it is. You can see how bad I really am. Guess I didn't have enough wine. Ay, ay. See what I mean? Pain in the ass. Keep dropping it. There we go. Yeah, it took too long. I know. Okay, we're going to tighten it up and then loosen it. And then come back here, do the other side. See if that doesn't take an exorbitant amount of time. We're already in 20 minutes into this one. Good Lord. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Okay. Keep checking my video. You know what I forgot to do? Can anybody guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to lubricate pallet fork jewels, didn't I? Dummy. This one I can lubricate because it's just underneath the hairspring. But the other side, I gotta take the dial off. Can you believe that? Son of a motherless goat. And that's what happens when you don't work with a script, or you try to hurry. But I'll worry about that later. I'll take this apart later when I'm done. Come on. Yep, pallet fork jewels are not lubricated. It doesn't mean it won't work. I can't manipulate this bugger to get it in there. Of all the things, pallet fork jewels. I probably shouldn't have said anything. And see if anybody would have caught it. That could have been a quiz. I don't know how I remembered. Okay. There we go. And that's it. That's in. I'm not going to wind this up all the way because I just got to let the spring down anyway to take it apart because of the jewels. The last thing I'm going to do is put the bezel on. That's all cleaned up from yesterday. Okay. Let's take it out of the hole. Snaps right in. There you go. Focus. There you have it. Everything done except for the pallet fork jewels. Everything's nice and clean, looks good, runs good. We'll put it on the time grapher a little bit later. could do a video on that. But for now, there you have it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I didn't bore you to death.